everybody. How are you doing? My name is Lindsay and I am with Perfectly Pastry. If you don't know who Perfectly Pastry is, we are a local bakery in Waterloo, Illinois. Thank you for hopping on today. I'm unsure how my lighting is, so I have this light that I use and I had misplaced it. And I found it last week and I was really excited because my lighting looked really good. And then I come in to find it today and I have a teenage daughter and now it's gone. So she made it hers. I have no idea where she put it. So now we have this light and I wear my glasses today, so it's a little reflective. So I guess when you look into my eyes, you'll see the light. Okay, that was kind of weird. Sorry about that. How are you guys doing? Like I said, my name is Lindsay. If you're watching me live, drop a heart. Let me know that you caught me live. I greatly appreciate it. If you're watching me on replay, use #replay. Let me know I didn't really catch you live, but I did get to watch you, so I appreciate that. And if this is the first time you've ever watched me, leave me a 1. Let me know. Like, this is the first time I got to watch you. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. All right. So last week, we did a whole segment about me. Sounds kind of conceited, but it wasn't. Like, just some things about me that you might not know. And I got a lot of feedback from you guys that you loved it. So I really want to thank you guys. And so we thought this week we would do this 10 things you didn't know about my sister. So before we jump into that, I wanted to talk a little bit about my sister. So I don't know if you guys know this, but my mom is in Ireland. She got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take a vacation, and she is in Ireland, which means my sister and I are left to hold the fort down. And if you know anything about this, I live in Florida. So when I say my sister and I really mean my sister. That's what that means. Exactly, my sister. And so my sister has been running the show since my mom left August 6th. My mom comes back on Monday. Thank goodness. My mom comes back on Monday. My sister's been holding the fort down, which means there's been lots of tears, lots of like, you can do this. You've got this. Lots of like, please don't quit our business. I love you. Don't do that. So it's been very interesting. I ordered supplies last week for my sister and I forgot a bunch of things she had to go in and out last week. And then this week I ordered supplies again. And this time I didn't forget anything. That's the amazing part. But I accidentally, thank you, GFS. They were really, really kind to take this off our tab. I ordered 7 cases of powdered sugar, not 7 bags. So my sister goes to, I'm like, oh, our supplies are really high this week. I don't know. I'm like, we just got a lot going on, which we do. Oh my gosh. My sister, who is not a baker, is smashing it right now. We have so many orders and she's just doing amazing. So kudos to her. But I was like, it must be all these orders and all the supplies. And so we get there, she's checking out and they come pulling out one of those, I don't even know what they're called. I really should have checked this. Those pallet pullers. That's what we're going to refer to them as. The pallet pullers at GFS, and it's stacked with stuff. And my sister goes, ooh, I don't think we meant to order that. And they're like, well, you ordered 7 cases of powdered sugar. And she goes, let me call my sister. She's like, did you mean to? And I was like, what? No, I only wanted 7 bags. So they were kind enough to take it off for us. They actually are really, really kind. We go in there all the time, right? My mom goes in there. Let's be real. My mom's the one who goes in there because my mom does the baking. She does the shopping. She goes and gets it. And so last week and this week, it's been my sister and I. And this week when my sister walked in, the gal who usually helps us go, oh, your mom must still be on vacation. And my sister's like, yeah. So then when they pulled out all of these cases, they were like, okay, you guys did not mean to do this, did you? We're like, mm-mm. So those ladies are really great. I want to give a shout out to the Maplewood GFS. They were very nice to us and took back the 7 cases of powdered sugar that I accidentally ordered. So thank you guys. I have lots of thank yous to dole out. Okay. I really want to take the time to thank my sister. I have said thank you to my sister a million bazillion times. But I want the entire world to know how much I truly appreciate my sister. I give my sister a lot of a really hard time. I'm her big sister. I can't help it. And I'll be like, oh, well, you have to do this, or I need you to do this, or you're just going to have to make it happen, blah, blah, blah. But my sister has totally stepped up to the plate with my mom being gone. And she is just, I can't even tell you guys how amazing my sister has been doing. That poor girl, she had a lot of snags and she was ready to throw in the towel last week. She messed up a whole bunch of scones and had to get rid of them. And my sister's actually amazing at making scones. So that bothered her. She's like, how did I mess up scones? I'm amazing at them. Mom goes away and I fall apart. And I'm like, dude, it's okay. It's okay. She is amazing. And she is literally holding it all together right now. And I just want to shout out to the world. Thank you to my sister. And as you know, like we're a family business, and being a family business, that means whatever we do affects our entire families. And so it's not just my sister, but it also affects my nieces and my brother-in-law. And so I really want to thank them as well, because they are being very understanding about the fact that my sister is working crazy hours. My nieces are not giving her a hard time about doing their chores. They just went to school. They're not giving her a hard time about getting up. They're not giving her a hard time about doing homework and getting situated. Everybody's making dinner. Like everybody's doing things to help support her so that she's not going more crazy than I already am making her. So I just want to thank them. And then I want to give a huge shout out to Carla, who has been running the shop for us while my sister is playing bake shop in the kitchen. No, as my sister's baking, Carla has been amazing. And she is a friend of the family. She's been helping out in the shop. So if you guys have been going by the shop, you've got to know Carla. And I just want to give her a huge, huge shout out. And I want to say thank you to all of Waterloo. I just want you guys to know, like, I don't know if we say it enough, but we've really, really enjoyed the move to Waterloo. We've really enjoyed being in Waterloo, getting to know the other business owners. It's been amazing getting to know all the people of Waterloo, hearing your stories, talking to you, and getting to know all of you. And so I just want to thank you guys for opening your hearts and opening your community and allowing us to come in and grow our business there. And so I just want to, again, say thank you to all of you guys. So I know lots of thank yous today. It's okay. Thank you all. And so, yes, my mom comes back on Monday night, pretty late though. So she'll be back in the game on Tuesday. My sister and I are like, thank goodness. I only have to order stuff one more time. So hopefully I don't mess it up when my mom comes back into town, because my mom has no qualms about being like, what did you do? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? And I'm like, I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you guys. Thank you guys. Okay. So I'm going to try not to go super long like I did last week. I know I was like so chatty last week. It must be because my kids are in school. I'm like, I don't have anybody to chat with during the day. Like my sister's baking, so she's not talking to me right now. Not that she's mad at me. She just can't do both. She's like, girl, I need you to be. I'm like busting through stuff in here. She's been doing amazing. Oh, you know who I forgot to thank? I really want to thank our vendors. So we do wholesale baking, and our vendors have been exceptional about knowing that my mom's out of town, knowing that my sister cannot crank things out as quick as my mom. And they have been just very, very kind and understanding, you know, and I've talked to a lot of them, and they can't wait for my mom to get back so they can hear all about what's been going on with her, because they chat with her a lot. So thank you guys for being so kind about all of it. It's been amazing. And we just have the best customers, and we have the best vendors. We're just so lucky. So thank you guys. All right. So this week we're going to do 10 things that you guys might not know about my sister. So my sister A is the youngest. She is 2 years younger than I am. I am not going to tell you guys her age. It's so funny. My husband was like, you are X age, like to me the other day, you're X years old about something. And I was like, shut your mouth. I'm not that old. Yeah, no, I totally said that to him. And he was like, yes, you are. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I swear I'm not. So I got like out the calculator and I calculated my age. I was that old. So shut up to him. Anyways, so yeah, so my sister is 2 years younger than I, and I shared a bunch of things about me last week. And so I like got with her and we talked about things about her. And so that was a little harder because a lot of things you would know about me, you would know about her. Like obviously she lived in Texas because I lived in Texas, right? Like things like that. So it's a little harder to get things for her. So we do have a list for you guys. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys. All right. Number one, my sister hates to bake and she is a terrible cook. She hates to cook. She hates to bake. So it's kind of funny that she's the one that got stuck baking. By the way, she makes amazing scones. So there you go. Like my sister's so bad at baking that she can't even make mac and cheese. I don't know if she just doesn't follow directions or she just adds too much. I don't know what that girl does, but like she messes up mac and cheese. The thing that she can make, I have like something on my computer. I know. The thing that's so crazy is my sister cannot make mac and cheese, but she can make amazing white gravy, like for biscuits and gravy. That girl can make gravy. I cannot make gravy. I'm a hot mess when it comes to gravy. I'm like burning stuff and it's lumpy and I don't make any gravy. But my sister is amazing at gravy and she's amazing at scones. But it's funny because she's the one stuck baking and she doesn't bake and she doesn't like to cook. So there's that. So her kids are always asking her, like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? And she just spouts off a color. She was like, I don't have a favorite color. And I was like, oh, okay. She goes, but I hate the color red. And I was like, you do? And she's like, yeah, I hate the color red, which is kind of funny. So here's why that is funny. If any of you guys are friends with her on Facebook, you saw that her husband was very kind for the anniversary and he bought her a bunch of flowers from their wedding. Like it's the colors of their wedding. Okay. You ready for the colors of their wedding? They were red, black, and white. So the roses were beautiful. It was a very kind gesture. My brother-in-law did an amazing job with that. But I laughed because he got red. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't like red? Red was in your wedding. And she was, yeah, I know. I just needed something to be complimentary to all the colors I chose. So like when my brother-in-law gets her things, he, tries to get things in the anniversary that makes her think of their happy wedding and all of these things. And so he gets these roses and he has them dyed to match the colors and come to find out she doesn't even like red. I was like, that's so funny. She literally told me about that on her way home. And then when she got home, she had the roses and stuff from her wedding. I'm like, that's so weird. Those were your wedding colors. Why would you choose a color you don't like to be in your wedding? And she was like, it was easy to find. It worked really well with the colors. And so I went with okay, sis, whatever you say. Another thing about my sister, she actually took auto service in high school and aced the class. Like she did amazing in the class. She does not know diddly squat about cars. She couldn't troubleshoot her car if it saved her soul. So yeah, so there you go. She actually went in high school, took auto service for like a year or two or something like that and did amazing in the class, like top scores in the class. So there you go. She obviously didn't retain any of that. You might not know this, but my little sister has a high schooler this year. Yep. My eldest niece started high school. So some of you might know that, but some of you might not. Yes, my little sister has a high school student. Here's one. My sister was in a pretty rough, like horse accident. When we were younger, we were in high school and we were horseback riding and she was sitting on an English saddle, which she actually had never ridden on before. And the horse kind of buckled and she fell off literally in front of my grandparents' house on a gravel road. She fell off. My sister is very accident prone, so accident prone, guys. This is part of the thing, but she tried to do a tuck and roll. She's not coordinated. She tried to do a tuck and roll and she did not tuck. She tucked, she didn't roll. She just like slammed on the ground. She actually broke a couple of ribs, like messed up her leg. At the time she had her nose pierced, it like ripped out her nose pierce. She had like a big old thing on her nose. But yeah, like she broke her ribs and everything, like really jacked herself up. With that being said, super clumsy. Oh my gosh, my sister is so clumsy. She has broken her right wrist twice and her left wrist once, and she's broken her arm and she's broken some ribs. And none of that actually broke during the horse accident. Those were just all other things that she did. Like once she fell off of monkey bars when we were kids, once she was roller skating we had a ginormous shop at my house and we were roller skating in it and she like fell and broke her wrist there. Like she's accident prone. Like one time when we lived up in Chicago, my sister came to visit, we had like this front porch and it was like this huge drop off and she like just stepped off. She didn't walk down the stairs. She just like stepped off the porch and fell. I was like, what are you doing? She goes, I don't know what happened. Like she really hurt herself that day. But yeah, she just right to the ground. I was like, dude, like seriously. Oh my gosh, she's such a klutz. And her youngest daughter, total klutz. Like total klutz. Raylan is always hurting herself. She's had to have stitches already. Like, yeah, both of them are klutzy. She gets that naturally. So here's a funny story about my sister. My parents got divorced when I was a kid, and my sister used my parents got divorced, that card, I guess you'd say, twice in elementary school. And two different schools that we had gone to. She used it twice to get out of doing schoolwork. So the first one was in first grade. I can't remember. So I remember fifth grade one, but it was like the first grade one. She was like starting to fall behind in class and stuff. And so she was like, oh, I'm struggling because my parents are getting a divorce. And like, then they had like this divorce club. So she would like get to leave and go to this divorce club and she wouldn't have to be in class. And there was this whole thing. And then I remember in fifth grade, it was in fifth grade that she used it. Like she was like, oh, I'm falling behind on my stuff because my parents are getting divorced and it's just really hard at home. And so like the teachers were like extending time and stuff. And they finally reached out to my mom and they're like, I know that you have a lot going on at home with you and your husband, getting a divorce and things like that. But I just want to let you know, Lacey's really struggling. It's affecting her grades. And my mom's like, what are you talking about? We're not getting divorced. She hasn't even told me about this. I had no idea that she was behind on her grades and all this other stuff. They hadn't been reaching out to my mom because, there was so much going on at home. So yes, my sister had to scramble to turn in all of her homework in fifth grade because she almost didn't pass because she was so far behind on schoolwork because she just kept using it as an excuse. So yeah, that's my sister there. She has amazing hand-eye coordination. So my sister doesn't, I mean, my entire family goes hunting and stuff like that, but my sister doesn't hunt and my sister's not really, like she doesn't go out and shoot skeet with everybody and stuff like that. But whenever her husband takes her like to, I don't even know what they're called, shooting competitions. Sorry guys, I should have paid attention to what it was called. I've not been to one, but like a shooting match, I think is what it's referred to, where like you shoot and you can win things. My sister's won like hamburger meat one time. She got like third place in one hamburger meat and then like won all this bacon once. When we were kids, we were never allowed to go like, okay, because we grew up in Texas, we weren't allowed to county fairs because we showed. So we were at the county fairs all the time. We weren't allowed to play any animal games. Where you like bounce the ping pong ball and it like falls in the water and you get like a fish or something like that. We weren't allowed to play those because my sister always won. So one year my mom gave us some money and she let us go play games and ride the carnival rides. And we were not allowed to play the animal games, but there was like these cute little rabbits at this one animal game. So I was like, let's just do it. I mean, like, what's the likelihood of you winning? By the way, that always ends up shooting me. Like, I don't want to say that. That's really not a nice way to say it. It always makes me insert my foot in my mouth when I say those kind of things because it always comes true. I'm like, why do I always say that? Anyway, so I'm like, what can I hurt? Let's do it. We won like 10 rabbits. My mom was so mad at us. Like we spent all of our money winning all these rabbits. And my mom's like, we can't keep 10 rabbits at our house, you guys. So we were like giving rabbits away to kids. And now that I think about it, it was kind of probably cruel that they had rabbits at a carnival, but whatever. It was back then and that's just what happened. But yeah, like all of these rabbits. Yeah, we're not allowed to play those games. I mean, now we're adults, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, my sister has great hand-eye coordination. I do not, but she does. Like we did an escape room and man, she hit the target. She's just amazing. I can't hit a target to save my soul. That's not my jam. So another thing about my sister, she's extremely awkward. Like I am super awkward. My sister is even worse than I am. My sister gets in her head all the time and she's always like saying the weirdest things and inserting her foot in her mouth all the time. She doesn't know how to read a room to save her soul. Like she'll walk in and everybody will be solemn and she'll just say, yeah, she just, it's bad. It's so bad that like I can't even tell you the stories because it's so cringeworthy. It's like, dude, what are you doing? She's like, I don't know. Like for example, she was at the store the other day, and my mom was there, but my mom was like checking out and stuff. They just happened to be there, and she saw one of her mutual, like she saw a friend, and she was like talking to him and stuff like that, and then goes to leave and like tells my mom, "Okay, I love you, bye." And then looks back at her friend and goes, I wasn't talking to you. I don't love you. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my mom. And her friend just like looked at her like, okay, like I didn't think you were telling me you love me. And then she ran to the car and she called her husband and she's like, I just saw so-and-so and I just told him I loved him, but I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to my mom and now he thinks I'm a weirdo. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? She's like, I don't know. It's a thing. So yeah, she's totally awkward. She's like, I get all in my head and then I'm like just scrambling to like, my husband's like, it's because she doesn't like silence. So she just fills the silence. So like when she says something awkward, it's kind of awkward. So you kind of look at her. So then she just talks more and it's like, dude, don't talk anymore. just stop. And then the last thing about my sister is that she lived in DC. My mom and my sister lived in DC when Haley was younger. So it was a very, very long time ago. And yeah, they lived there for a whole year in DC. So that's a lot of things that people don't know about my sister. So All right, you guys, that is all I had to say. Again, thank you to my sister. Thank you to Carla. Thank you to GFS for taking the powder sugar back. Thank you to all of our vendors who have been really amazing while my mom's been out of town. And thank you so much to Waterloo for opening your hearts up to us and allowing us to be part of the community. It has been amazing. If you guys are watching my live, you should really be liking and following us on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, but it's really not your thing, like, I get it. We're on other social media. You can follow us over there. Perfect. Facebook is the only one that we're at Perfectly Pastry Bakery. The rest of them are at Perfectly Pastry. If you guys want to know why it's set up like that, go watch some of my really old lives. I talk about it because I did it. It's a thing. I did it. All right, you guys, I am on here every single week. I'm on Wednesdays. It's 1 p.m. Eastern time, 12 p.m. Central time. I'd love for you guys to hop on, chat, and let me know how things are going. All right, I will see you again next week. You have a wonderful rest of your week.